Welcome back, everyone. So while I'm waiting again to save up money for the machine work, I'm just trying to stay busy now. So I'm doing things that I think need to get done in order for the engine to get into the car. So with the frame looking all nice, engine's going to go in. I'm going to have that looking nice when it's done. I don't want it to go against that crap Firewall. Now, General Motors, when they put these cars together, I understand. You're putting a bunch of cars together. So you're slapping the engines in, and the ground strap for the engine and the ground strap that goes over into the heater box, you just drive those things right into the Firewall. Well, to me, they're right up front. First thing you see once you look past the engine to see the Firewall is just two bolts and wires hanging there. I don't like that. So I'm going to try to think of a way to move those two ground straps down underneath where the engine would sit so you can't see that. So my main concern is this whole top part of the Firewall and the whole AC box. I want all that stuff just to look perfect. I want it to look just better than showroom. I want it to look nice. So that's what I'm going to do, which means I have to strip off a lot of the stuff that's on the front of this car, on the Firewall, to clean everything up and get that done. So I'm going to take you real quick through the mind of someone who's restoring a car, because this is how you go down the rabbit hole, all right? So I'm thinking, okay, I got to repaint the Firewall. Well, I'm going to take off the wiper, the windshield wiper motor, and the brake booster has to come off, and I'm going to take off the whole AC box because I've got an entire AC seal kit. So that's going to be upside down, but that whole AC seal kit, so that's going to be good. I'm going to just completely restore that, because you see a lot of these old cars, even with that screen on the top that keeps like acorns and leaves and stuff out, there's lots of debris and dirt that gets down into the bottom of these things. And honestly, this is over 30 years old. I haven't opened it up. There could be a mouse nest down in there. Who knows what's down inside that thing? So the car wasn't sitting anywhere, so I'm kind of confident it's not going to be anything crazy, but I'm going to take the whole thing off and clean it. So since I'm doing that, here's where the restorer goes crazy. Well, this is a 30-year-old brake booster. I don't want to keep that thing, so I got to do brake booster. All right, so that's easy enough. I'll just paint the new one, put that one back on. And I'm going to take off the whole AC box, and I'm going to have all the seals to reseal that so it's nice and fresh. But since it's off, well, that heater core is 30 years old, and so is the evaporator. Why don't I replace those too? They're not super high dollar items. So yeah, so there goes those get replaced. And then I start thinking, well, you know what? You got to disconnect the vacuum lines and the mixed door box on the inside, that cable. And once that's disconnected, there's not much left to taking the dash out, because behind the dash is the AC ducts inside the vehicle. And who wants to restore your vehicle, have a brand new interior, and then you turn the AC on and it just pumps dust and debris and crap out that first time that you hit the high blower. So you know what? I was thinking, there's only, 8, 10, 12 bolts to take out the entire dash. Perfect. I'll just take the dash out, and that way I can get to the vents behind and get all that cleaned up. Good job. So I'm thinking, well, the dash is out. Might as well replace the speakers in the dash. Easiest time to do it, and won't have to fight the glass and all that stuff. So, okay, so the dash comes out and it gets speakers. And then I'm thinking, well, I got to drop the steering wheel down to get the dash out. And at this point, I just test fit the shaft in here. It's old, it's a 90-something Jeep steering shaft. If I take that out, yeah, I could probably fix the steering wheel, because it's got the tilt column on the inside, and there's 4 bolts way down in the guts of the steering wheel. Those things come loose and the wheel gets shaky. So yeah, so I'll just take the whole steering column out, and then that way I can rebuild that. And then, hey, you know what? There's a Jeep bearing that goes on the front part of the lower part of the steering column that helps shore up the feel. So yeah, I can do that while I'm at it. So painting the Firewall turned into AC rebuild and replace, cleaning the vents on the inside, pulling the dash, pulling the steering wheel. You see how that goes. So if your significant other goes out into the garage and says, hey, I'm going to adjust the carburetor, and then after a while you're like, where are they at? And you go out there and the valve covers are off and they're adjusting the valve timing. Now you know why. It's very easy for us to just go hog wild with these things. So I think what I'm going to do is try to break this up into a bunch of small videos, almost like small how-tos. So I'll do one just on R&R and the brake booster, and then I'll do one on removing the AC housing, and then do one on removing the dash, and then do one on removing the steering column, and then individually rebuilding that, rebuilding the steering column, what I do with that. So I'll just break it up that way into smaller videos. So this is really just a, hey, this is what I'm doing next. And then when I come back, I'll just start replacing different components and pulling stuff off. So that ought to be fun. So look forward to the next couple of videos, me getting this done. And then I'm going to have to sand the firewall and get some of that gook and crap off of there. Get everything back to looking nice, and then prime it, paint it, and then put everything back together. So look forward to that in the next couple of videos. See you guys. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.